been a little while, guys. It has been a while since we've talked trades here on NBA Weekly. The Rubenstein trade machine has started to collect way too much dust, so we're brushing it off today and going through 5 players who could be traded this offseason. And let's start with number 1. He's been on every single one of my 5 players who could be traded this offseason list, and it is Hassan Whiteside. The contract is too big. The effort does not match the contract. The Heat want nothing really to do with him anymore, and I still think he could be effective on the right team. Mind you, just, a little sneak preview for what you're getting at the end of the show with our top 10 centers in the NBA. Yeah, Hassan Whiteside is not on our list for the 10 best centers in all of basketball. Maybe like 2 years ago, but not right now. So this was a rumored trade that we had a couple days ago with Hassan Whiteside potentially being traded to the Cleveland Cavaliers for Tristan Thompson and Kyle Korver. Now, this would be a very interesting trade for multiple reasons. A, I quite like the combo of Hassan Whiteside and Kevin Love down low. I actually think that their skill sets kind of play off each other quite well. Kevin Love, a little bit more of a stretch outside shooter, with Hassan Whiteside simply being around the bucket, getting a lot of rebounds and getting a lot of putbacks. So in a way, they would actually combo quite well together. I also think that, Hassan Whiteside, who likes to play above the rim as well, I think him and Colin Sexton would be a really good combo as well. I don't think Hassan Whiteside turns them into a playoff team, but if they get Hassan Whiteside, I could see the Cavs making a run at the 7 or the 8 seed. I really think that Hassan Whiteside could be a good fit on this Cleveland Cavaliers team. Plus, the Cavs get rid of the atrocity that is Tristan Thompson's contract and Kyle Korver. And if you're the Miami Heat, you get Tristan Thompson, who I know it's not great, but you get someone who can fill in for Hassan Whiteside. I actually think that Tristan Thompson's a better fit on the Heat than Hassan Whiteside's. And then also Kyle Korver, I think the Miami Heat would take Kyle Korver and flip him to another playoff team just to get another asset. But they get rid of Hassan Whiteside's contract. I think there'll be some money switching hands as well. I actually like this trade a lot for both sides. I think this could help both of them get rid of some needed players and also make the Cavs a little bit more relevant. So Hassan Whiteside coming in as the first player who could be traded this offseason. Let's go to our second player. We just talked about him with this Hassan Whiteside trade. It's Kyle Korver on the Cleveland Cavaliers. He was bad in the playoffs, guys, especially in the NBA Finals. He was terrible against the Golden State Warriors in the finals. The dude missed, I believe, 9 of his last 10 attempted threes throughout the entire NBA playoffs. He can't play defense at all either, but he can still be a reliable perimeter shooter during the regular season. I think that a good spot for him would be the Philadelphia 76ers. I mentioned Jamal Crawford as a guy that they could possibly pick up as an outside shooter, but I think Kyle Korver could also be that guy. We know that they're trying to dump Jared Bayless's contract. You give the Cavs Bayless plus a 2020 second-round pick. That should be enough to get Kyle Korver. I mean, Kyle Korver isn't going to be some wildly expensive player who the 76ers need to trade a protected first-round pick for, like I've seen on the internet some places. Mind you, people, don't trust any trades that you see on the internet that don't come from the Rubenstein trade machine, because a lot of these trades that you see out there are just bad. I mean, I saw a trade that said that Hassan Whiteside should go to the Cavs for an unprotected first-round pick. Like, what century are we in? That's one of the worst trades that would ever have been made in the NBA today. I think Korver going to the 76ers for Bayless and for a second-round pick would be a good switch for both sides. The Cavs have no need for him. Maybe they waive Jared Bayless. Maybe they keep him as a mentor to Colin Sexton, and they get a 2020 second-round pick out of it. Good trade for both sides. I'm a favorite, but let me know in the comment section who says no. Type an A for the 76ers, type a B for the Cavs, or hell, give me an N for no one says no. I say N. I think this would be a good trade for both sides. Let's go to our next player that could be traded. Also talked about him with the Hassan Whiteside trade. It is Tristan Thompson, who I'm going to make a little bit of a bold. I don't think this is that bold. Lena, you can tell me if this is bold or not. He has the worst talent to contract ratio of any player in the NBA. Of anyone in basketball. No one gets paid more to do less. Actually, that's not true. Luol Deng gets paid more to do less than Tristan Thompson. But in terms of players who actually play games in the NBA, no one no one does less for the amount of money that they're getting paid than Tristan Thompson to his contract. I mean, you can mention Joakim Noah as well. He's actually going to end up on this list, but he doesn't play. Tristan Thompson plays, and he just does not live up to that contract at all. So I have him being sent to Memphis. I think, the Cavs could get back the big contract of Chandler Parsons. You get back Dakari Johnson just to fill the hole at center. And for Tristan Thompson, look, man, you got to get out of the spotlight. You do. I'm serious. Just for your own well-being and the well-being of your future. I mean, now there's more rumors about him cheating while he's been living in Cleveland and he's in LA with Chloe, and there's more rumors that he's cheating. He travels to Toronto for a weekend with LeBron James, and there's rumors that he brought 3 girls into his hotel room. Send him to Memphis. Send this dude to Memphis. I'm serious. I'm not saying that Memphis doesn't have some fine women there. I've never been to Memphis, so I don't really know, but I'm sure that every American city has some great women. But look, he needs to be out of the spotlight. And I think going to Memphis, being with Marc Gasol, being with Mike Conley, being with a lot of those veterans will be really good for Tristan Thompson. He's got to get out of Cleveland because just what he's been doing on this team has been so weird. I mean, he's not a good player. That contract he got was massive. I just think he needs to change the scenery. And also, you look at the depth chart for the Grizzlies, they have Marc Gasol and Jaren Jackson Jr. down low. And really, that's about it. I mean, they got you Michael Green, who's all right, but I mean, that's about it. So I think that Tristan Thompson is someone that needs to change the scenery, and I'd love to see him get shipped out to Memphis. Let me know in the comment section below who says no. Type an A for the Grizzlies or type a B for the Cleveland Cavaliers. All right, let's get to our next player, Kent Bazemore. Now, I would love to have seen Kent Bazemore on the Houston Rockets, but it's simply not going to happen anymore. They already got Melo. They don't really want to bring in more money in terms of Kent Bazemore, who's on a pretty sizable deal. Kent Bazemore is actually getting paid $18 million next year. He was caught up in that whole 2016 cap explosion in the NBA. But I think Bazemore could still be a good number 3 guard on a playoff team. The dude shot almost 40% from 3 last year and has always been a consistent bench shooter for any team that he's been on. Now let's think to ourselves, everyone. Let's put on our NBA thinking caps and think to ourselves, who needs shooting? Oh yeah, the Milwaukee Bucks need shooting. Not only do they need shooting, they got to get rid of some of this money, and they got to get rid of John Henson because they have so many centers on this team that not everyone's going to be able to play. I love this trade for both sides. A, the Atlanta Hawks receive a couple expiring contracts plus that 2020 second. I think John Henson is actually a good piece for the Hawks to use at center. They don't really have anyone down low right now, so I think Henson could be a good guy to go with Herter and Trae Young. I think John Henson is actually a good combo next to John Collins down low, and the Bucks get rid of Dellavedova's contract. But Bazemore on the Bucks is a perfect fit for both sides. This is a match made in heaven. They need someone at the 2-guard position that's more of a pure shooter. I know that last year he only shot 42% from the floor, but he shot 39% from 3, averaging 4 attempted threes a game. His true shooting percentage last year was a little over 50% as well. I'm not saying he's going to come in and average 16, 17 points a game, but 13 points per game for the Bucks as a pure outside shooter, that sounds like exactly what the Bucks need. They have Chris Middleton, who's a good guy at the 2 or the 3. Eric Bledsoe, I like as a bulldog at the point guard position. I love Giannis, and I think Brook Lopez is going to be a good option for them as well. But with John Henson traded, this allows them to actually play Thon Maker, who they drafted in the first round, who's seen no playing time so far. John Henson ain't that good anyway, so I think Kent Bazemore would be a much, much better fit on the Bucks than he is currently today on the Atlanta Hawks. Let's go to our next player here. I don't know how you trade this guy. I don't, but we're going to try. It's Joakim Noah on the New York Knicks. One of the worst contracts in basketball, unfortunately. I mean, look, he had 2 really bad years, and then Phil Jackson decided to randomly give him $70 million. I'm pretty sure Phil Jackson was the only person who was watching basketball that thought that Joakim Noah was worth $7, let alone $70 million over the course of a 4-year contract. So we didn't see him at all last year after his issues with Jeff Hornacek, the head coach of the Knicks, who's now been fired. I think Noah needs a change of scenery. If they don't get Tristan Thompson, I think that the Memphis Grizzlies would also be a good spot for Noah down low. I think you would counter well with Marc Gasol. I think you'd be a good guy to put next to Jaren Jackson Jr. as well. They have a lot of different lineups where they can use Noah too. So I don't think he's a very good player anymore. Let me make that very clear. I don't think that Joakim Noah is that good anymore. But he is still a big-name player. Everyone knows who he is from his time in Florida and his year at the Bulls, where he was one of the best defensive players that I've honestly ever seen. That was an unbelievable season that he had that year. But as you can see, his value has severely changed. I mean, I have him down as a 2021 second-round pick that the Grizzlies could trade for him. So I think that the Knicks would have to take about half his contract, but nobody wants Joakim Noah. We have a comment from Van Negro Jones saying nobody wants Noah. You're right, nobody does want him, but I think that the Memphis Grizzlies could bring in a guy, a good veteran, to help the progression of Jaren Jackson Jr. and to spell Marc Gasol a little bit down low. So Joakim Noah is our fifth player who could be traded this offseason. Let's go back over those five. We got Hassan Whiteside, Kyle Korver, Tristan Thompson, Ken Bazemore, and Joakim Noah. Those are the five players who we think could be traded this offseason. Thank you to the Ruben C Trade Machine, dusting her off to break out some great trades for you guys.